Good evening and salutations, my Days of Lives fans. So, just a couple of things. Holly's trash. Listen, I've been listening to this saying since day one, and I'm going to sit there and keep saying this that whoever decides to sit there and put Holly in this show deserves to be fired. And, after hanging out with Johnny and trying to convince Johnny to, hang out and stuff, she gets a text from Tate. Tate's like, hey, you want to sit there and go out? And she blows him off like garbage. The minute that she can't be with Johnny, she texts him back and it's like, hey, I changed my plans. Let's sit there and hang out. And I'm just like, hey, she's been blowing you off for a while. Even you practically throwing money in her face, she still blows you off. But only agreed to go out with you because she couldn't be with Johnny. And for some odd reason, he was dumb enough to sit there and decide to take her out. He takes her out. He's like, hey, we can sit there and go anywhere. We can go this way. We can go that way. We can go anywhere you want to sit there and go. She's like, I want to go to the bistro. He's like, okay. She tries to do her whole, well, listen, we'll do this now. We'll do something else later on the next time. So his dumbass actually goes. He sees Johnny and Chanel and he's like, oh, okay. I know. I know why we're here. The fact that he didn't just leave right then and there, I don't even actually have words for it. But he is sitting there and he's contemplating, he's fuming. And finally he has enough. He's like, you know what, listen, I'm not stupid. Like, well, you kind of are, but at least you're starting to wise up. And he's like, you know what, listen, I don't want to sit there and do this. I'm done. I'm done trying to help you out. And, not Chanel. Holly was like, you did sit there and say you would help me. Help me break up Chanel. Break up Chanel and Johnny. And I'm like, to some extent, he did sit there and say that. But he's like, you know what, listen, I changed my mind. He's like, listen, this pipe dream that you have, this delusional fantasy, that's all it's ever going to be as a delusion. He looks at you like a sister and he is way too over you. Hell, she was snitching trying to get some alcohol and Johnny was like, yeah, in like 5 years, sure. He's like, you know what, listen, I'm done, I'm out. He's like, I just want to sit there. He's like, at this point, I just want to go back to school, go back to boarding school. Now she tried to sit there and act like, oh, you're the free people that sit there and get me. Of course, trying to make it around her because she's a self-centered POS. And again, he's done and he just walks off. And I was like, good. Finally, you wise the F up. Took you long enough, but I'm glad you actually got to that point. I didn't really care about the conversation with Johnny and Chanel, to be honest. Um, Especially the whole him practically bowing down, talking about, oh, you're the queen of my heart. And I was like, listen, I got to go get a latte in a few minutes. I don't want this scene to sit there and upset my stomach. Um, Now, Chanel, before was there talking to Paulina, and Paulina was upset because Lonnie's, um, release got delayed because of backlog, whatever. So she's upset. And, I'm going to be honest, part of me wanted to feel bad for her, but then I was also just like, I kind of didn't. Because I'm like, you did fire someone because of your petty ass feelings. So I'm not exactly really moved by your feelings at this point now. I'm just not. You fired Melinda to practically put in the devil. Okay? You fired her to practically put in the devil, and now I'm supposed to. No. I'm sorry. No, your daughter, granted it does suck. She's not gonna be a home for the holidays or whatever, but she is going to get out and you will eventually be with your family. So to be honest, I not really having a lot of sympathy for her. Really not. I don't know what the hell is Sarah doing at this point. Sarah is holding Xander's hand at one point and then running away the next point. I'm just like, what? Ooh, what are you doing? And she runs to Marlene and she's all like, I feel like I'm going to make a mistake. I'm like, well, it's because you are. Let's be honest, because you are. She says multiple times that she's given him a chance, and he's let her down, and she's put down a guard, and this, that, and the third. I'm like, yes. So what's the difference now? I mean, the only difference now is, like you said, you have a child, and there's more at stake. So that probably should give you more of a pause to not sit there and be with Xander at this point. But you need to sit there and pick a lane and stop flip flopping, because that's just going to be irritating to him as well. She is going to give him a chance though, because that's what the fans want. And so, that's what they're gonna do. But to be honest, I think it's a huge, giant effing mistake. Um, Xander was asking John for advice, as far as not screwing this up, and how do I get her back, and this, that, and the third. And at first, John was sitting there looking at him side eye, and I was like, "What how's this problem?" But then I was like, "Oh wait, he did shoot Brady." Yeah, never mind. I take I was like, I take that back. Um, John doesn't like him, but he realizes he's a bad person. But he was a bad person at one time. He does believe in redemption and second chances. He's just like, listen, just do right, not just for yourself, but for your child. Do right by your child, but do right by your child's mother, and that's how you can sit there and be a better person. Sarah comes back, and they walk back home or whatever. They have their little cutesy moment or whatever, and then they both decide to sit there and buy the same dollhouse, or they want to do it. So sure. Um, Nicole's having a hell of a time. I mean, she was at the bistro and she was feeling bad that she was neglecting Holly, and just being more grateful for the fact that she does have a daughter. She has a mate. She has a daughter. I can't even sit there and utter those words that she loves, and just gotta sit there and count your blessings where you can. They get back. EJ has a Christmas tree because, well, let's be honest, he's rich. So he gets a Christmas tree, and everything's going well with Johnny and Holly being there. But then they get delivery of the ashes from the supposed child of theirs. So they wind up grieving and going outside, or Nicole goes outside and says a prayer, and you know he comforts her. But again, this whole thing is very off-putting to me. I'm gonna be honest. This thing is very off-putting because yeah, we know that that child is not EJ's, right? And we know that that child is actually alive. But even for even within the story, they don't know that. Why we not sitting there seeing EJ grieve is beyond me. The only person we sitting there seeing grieving is Nicole, right? It's Nicole. She's the one that's doing all the grieving and everything like that, but he's not. And I feel like in a lot of ways, they're not. I mean, granted, I'm not exactly a fan of like sad stuff, right? Like, I mean, granted, I'm not exactly a fan of sad stuff, but sometimes it's necessary, right? And the fact that they're not they're showing him grieving is putting this message out there that they're basically saying that, well, men just sit there and suck it up. They don't really have emotions like that. They just tough, they just keep on going. And that's not the case. And like even in YNR, they did something like that. I mean, yeah, Adam did kind of grieve, and he grieved in the way of lashing out, right? But I didn't like the way that they were there representing that, because Sally was going at him, and it was like, oh, I guess it's just the man to sit there and just take it. But in this show, it's like we're not even sitting there seeing EJ be sad, or yeah, we see a lot of anger and stuff like that, but it's like in all reality, it's not that much different than how he normally acts. I mean, let's be honest, the dude is a dick. He's not being that much different, except for now he just has a trigger reason for it. Let's see. Now there is a point. at the bistro where Chanel sees Tate and Holly there, and she's like, you know what? I take back what I said before. Yeah, no, she's definitely into you. And while Johnny's like, oh, come on now, I just see her as a sister, this, that, and the third, and he's not there trying to act dumb and ignorant. It's like it's getting to a point where it's like, bro, this is just like I hate when he said this is something that, and I've said this numerous amount of times. Fortunately, I gotta continue saying this. I hate when they sit there and dumb down characters to move the plot along. The fact that you can't see that she's into you at this point, she makes you a bracelet, she's always around you, she's hanging out with you while you're on your date with somebody. Who the hell actually wants to sit there and be the third wheel? Clearly she does. And if your girl's not just saying multiple times, yeah, I think that she's into you, I think that she's into you. Don't you at least owe it to yourself and to Holly if you don't want to hurt her to sit there and at least see her point of view and really kind of like ask her? Because you don't want to sit there and lead this girl on without knowing. So it's like, what are you doing? Why are you being that dumb? Why are you being that naive? I can't believe that Chanel actually said the word woo. I want to be wooed. And she talks about how she's glad that she's behind the drama or whatever. When she first got to town and stuff like that. I'm like, you mean the drama that you caused, right? You mean the drama that you caused, right? Because you did cause that multiple times. You caused that between Johnny and his sister Allie, and then you caused that again between which one was it this time? It was it was Trip. Yeah, this time it was between Trip and Johnny, I think. Right? It was between those two. So you sit to say, "Oh, I'm just so far behind the drama and stuff like that." But I'm like, let's not sit there and try to act like this isn't drama that you caused in a lot of ways. And we can't just sit there and just rewrite history just because it's not comfortable to you. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't think of anything else. So if I forgot anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'll be live streaming for an hour and a half. And yeah, if you're not a member, definitely become a member. Um, I'm working on some new stuff for the channel as far as putting out exclusive videos for members first before I put it out for the rest of the general public. So if you want to sit there and kind of get an insight on what I got going on, we can sit there and talk about it during the live stream before everyone else. You definitely want to sit there and hit that join button in the description box below, as well as exclusive live streams, videos. Sometimes I only do for members. And monthly member shoutouts, so that once a month I always sit down and thank all the members for just supporting the channel and just really, really supporting me. I appreciate that. So anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I'll see you in the next video.